5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are live. All right. What's up? What's up, y'all? This is a special edition of 4TL of Wrestling. It's your boy Flex Washington.
It's the shooting star.
Yeah, and you can tell our voices are dead because we're excited for today. We're trying to get our tea and honey on, but we haven't gotten to that point yet. So we're just going to go down the list of the things that we have watched today, especially Saturday Night Main Event, and just react to it. So the first thing was just the environment in the State Farm Arena was really infectious. It seemed like the crowd was ready for, everything and anything to happen. And that is what a wrestling arena should be like, a wrestling environment should be like. So just from Jump Street, it was a great environment. What did you think about it, though?
I felt the same. Excuse me. Atlanta really knows how to make noise. They know how to be excited for an event. And I can say that for the events that we've gone to, that WWE has had in Atlanta, it's been full of life, full of energy, to the point that it almost gives you a PLE vibe, even if it's just a regular Monday Night Raw. So they definitely brought it tonight. We brought it tonight.
We definitely brought it tonight.
And that's without paying for a $7 water bottle.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So State Farm, this is a PSA, whatever. Y'all need to lower them prices on whatever it is, but because of things that are probably out of our control, they can't do anything about it. But look, water bottle $7 is crazy.
The Dasani at that too.
The Dasani at that. So horrible, not great. So we started off actually pretty hot tonight. It was Drew and Randy. Drew McIntyre, but they were also Drew was flagged by the Maverick Logan Paul, and Randy was flagged by award-winning, country, pop, gospel star, Christian music star, Jelly Roll. So, what ended up happening in the match was Randy won, which is great. RKO, obviously. Logan Paul tried to get involved. Jelly Roll got into it and stopped that from happening. 1, 2, 3, Randy wins. And then all hell breaks loose. Yeah, so what ended up happening was Jelly Roll, I actually forgot what happened. Can you remind me what happened? Go ahead.
So right after the match ended, Logan Paul knocked Randy out.
I do remember
with a punch, and then he just hovered over Randy talking trash. Jelly Roll had that moment of, I should probably do something about this, and he got involved, and then he ate a Claymore by Drew McIntyre afterwards.
Which we kind of was joking about, like, you think Drew's going to Claymore Jelly Roll? Like, is that actually going to happen?
And boom.
And it did happen. So, yeah. And then, obviously that had ramifications because Raw General Manager Adam Pearce and SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis came out and was livid at both of those.
They were hot.
Randy was very apologetic to Jelly Roll. I brought you out here and this is what happens. I'm so sorry. But what we have now is we have a SummerSlam tag team match because Jelly Roll said he is with it all, and he wants a piece of Drew McIntyre. He wants a piece of Logan Paul. So this is going to officially be a SummerSlam match in New York, New Jersey at the MetLife. So quick reaction to that. Personally, I don't really care about it. I'm going to watch it, obviously, but, I would like to see how Jelly Roll gets better in the ring, with about 3 weeks or so. 2 or 3 weeks of training, and we don't know how much he'd been trained before then, but I would like to see how much he does. Hopefully he does like a Uranaki or something. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Knee-jerk reaction. Who asked for this?
TKO.
And I like Jelly Roll's music, but like, who asked for this? At least if they had gotten like a professional athlete involved, I could say, you know what, they at least have the build to compete, since, well, a lot of these superstars were former athletes anyway.
Right.
But I know that WWE is a weird world sometimes, but how does this even make sense? If I was Jelly Roll, I want no parts of Drew McIntyre. That man is a huge, built, just workhorse. And Logan Paul, I mean, listen, he's not some scrawny little kid either.
Right.
He's someone who can go. He's someone who has a mean streak. It's obviously for views. It's for headlines. It's continuing WWE's mainstay in the mainstream. But who asked for this, and why?
Right. Yeah. Just, I think TKO just wants to make it so that they can reach more people. So we'll see how that works and see if the numbers add up with that. So secondly, the second match was the United States Championship match between Solo Sikoa, who was the champion, and Jimmy Uso, who was the challenger. My immediate reaction to the match was it was a good match. I think, obviously, I don't know if we ever had a Solo versus Jimmy one-on-one match. So it was nice to see the two brothers, the little brother, obviously Solo, and the big brother Jimmy, duke it out. There was the parts of the match where Solo was just attacking Jimmy's back. He just was just doing backdrops, uranagis on the outside. And I was just like, I just kept thinking, Rikishi's going to probably beat him when he gets home. He's going to bring that belt out. And he's like, told you about beating your brother like that.
I've been telling you for years.
Right. But no, in all seriousness, I think that it was a good match. I think that, obviously Solo won. Solo beat Jimmy 1, 2, 3 with the help of Tala Tonga. He has really been putting his stamp on things now. So I like that. And then we had a return of Jacob Fatu, who was obviously, in his Jacob Fatu garments, shirt, the frilly Scully ski mask, shiesty, whatever y'all want to call it. And he was ready for it all. And he was taking them out. He took out Jason Mateo. He took out, Tonga Loa. And then we had the stare down between Tala Tonga and Jacob Fatu. So I'm guessing that's probably going to be either a main event SmackDown match, or if they can build it up to be a little one-on-one SummerSlam match. We'll see how that goes. But your immediate reaction to the U.S. title match?
To give them a little credit, or to give them a little benefit of the doubt, they really try to treat Saturday night's main event as if it's not a PLE. So for me, I kind of look at it like this match could have main evented SmackDown.
Right.
And I'd be completely fine with it happening exactly the way it played out. But because Saturday night's main event is also, a PLE light,
right?
I still feel like it worked for the show.
Yeah.
Jimmy did some cool stuff. His variation of like whisper in the wind to like all of them, I thought that was a really cool spot. You had asked a question of not knowing if they've had a one-on-one match before, but I don't know if they have. Obviously, they've seen each other in tag team action numerous times, but I think just for the fact that they're brothers, they've probably trained together. They've, wrestled like just siblings do. So it just seems like this wasn't the first time they had a one-on-one match.
Right.
So I think it was a solid match. Nothing that is like extremely memorable. One thing that you did say that kind of made me chuckle is that you said the return of Jacob Fatu.
He's been out for like 2 weeks.
It's been 8 days? He didn't show up on SmackDown.
Yeah, that was it.
Like, oh my gosh, he's out. But then he showed up. the next night. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, obviously, just being there, it was just happy to hear the music and then see
Mhm.
him do all his mannerisms. Yada I mean.
Got it. I mean, yeah, I enjoyed that wholeheartedly because I've never seen it before, so I'm glad that I was able to see it this time.
Right.
There was a little intermission. It might have been actually before the U.S. title match, but there was, they were showing basically the Evolution stars. Start off with Io Sky, then they showed Rhea Ripley, and then they
Right.
showed Jade Cargill. Now, after they showed Jade Cargill, she got jumped. She got jumped by Naomi, and they had a little brawl. And that was a brawl, like just back and forth. Jade hit her with
Yeah.
the meanest forearm, darn near punch. I was like, dang, she's trying to knock her block off. But Nick Aldis was tired of the back and forth, and he said, I was trying to get you guys to do it in a civilized manner, but you know what? It's not going to be civilized manner no more. You're getting a special guest referee, and that special guest referee is going to be Bianca Belair, one of my favorites, if not my favorite. So I've this is why I don't have a voice right now, ladies and gentlemen. Identify as yes, this is why. I'm excited for tomorrow. Unfortunately, we hopefully I don't know. We might see her in the battle royal, but if she's not in the battle, I don't think she might be in the battle royal now.
It's not looking like it anymore.
Which
I feel like she would have been a surprise, and now it won't be.
It won't be a surprise. Yeah, this is unfortunate. So, but your immediate reaction to now Bianca Belair being the special guest referee for the match tomorrow. That's going to be fun.
The plot thickens.
Plot thickens indeed. No pun intended.
He said it.
I said it. No,
You know what? I really like this. If you want to call it a segment, I really enjoyed it because, again, when you watch wrestling as long as we do, it's kind of difficult sometimes to give us the oh my gosh, I wasn't expecting this moment. And even though Naomi has shown that whenever she gets a chance, she's gonna beat up Jade Cargill, or at least try to.
Yep.
You didn't think it was gonna happen then.
Nah.
And it was perfect. And honestly, I think it woke up State Farm Arena just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because, with the Jelly Roll stuff, it didn't really get the reception that I think they were looking for. Because it's like, again, who wants this? Jimmy, Solo, okay, cool. Like we said, solid, nothing over the top.
Yeah.
And then you had this little break, and it was like, oh, at first I thought Nick Aldis was gonna have the match right then and there.
Right. I thought so too, bro.
And I was like, oh, so this is how we get the fifth match. But nah, man, like Bianca coming out, I was hyped.
Yeah.
I was really excited. So I have nothing bad to say about that segment. It seemed real. The brawl was dope. It made both women look strong because it's funny because men are trying to restrain them and it doesn't work.
It's not working. Right.
And Bianca, I just want to talk about Bianca for a second.
Hey, take your time, bro. I'm gonna give you time to talk about Bianca now.
So since we were there, we can see when they cut to commercial and when that segment technically was over, but Bianca did not. There's a difference between Bianca's reaction to Nick Aldis naming her as a special guest referee for this match versus the Io versus Rhea match earlier in the year. Didn't want it. I'm not no referee. I don't know how to do this. There wasn't a look of disappointment, disapproval. It almost makes it seem like, I welcome this. And it gets me very, very intrigued because, hey, things change last minute. And I'm not saying that Naomi was not going to win had this stipulation not been added. But if the consensus was that Jade was going to win, now this seems very, very interesting, throwing a little monkey wrench. And you don't know how Bianca's going to involve herself in some things. But someone as high profile as she is, anything can happen. For me, as if I needed to look forward to Evolution more, you've got my attention.
I'm just going to end this part with the thing that's you're not gonna like what I'm about to say.
Even in this video, you're gonna do this to me?
Of course, yes. Even in this video, Mastermind. So the MESTER, whatever how you say Mastermind, not Mastermind, but Mastermind. That's all I'm gonna say. EST Mastermind, indeed. Is
listen, you called this maybe even before 2025. So I told you I got on board with it.
Yeah,
got on board with it.
You did. You just had to get the storyline. You said it has to make sense. So
it has to make sense.
We'll see if she does what I think, which is to if be turn heel. I don't know. We're gonna see tomorrow. If Bianca turns heel tomorrow, there's gonna be some booing, but there's gonna be some proud people being like, yes, finally we get a Bianca that's not just a happy-go-lucky face. Like she shows a different side, which I am one of those people. I want to see a different side of Bianca. I will love Bianca if she's a heel, face, manager, referee. Bianca is going to do no wrong in my mind. So that's just,
And if you think we need tea tonight, we'll need tea even more tomorrow night.
I'm going to have to bring tea I'm going to have to sneak tea inside the State Farm Arena, truth be told. Like just bring a tea bags and whatnot.
Right.
Yeah. So this next match, this next match made me want to do this because I just wanted to, and obviously Shooting Star is also going to follow up and really just duplicate my sympathies. Seth Rollins, if you ever see this, if somebody ever shows you this or whatever, we are at the 4TL family. We just want to extend our condolences and hope for a speedy recovery, because this match was a great match between LA Knight and Seth Rollins. Like we were excited.
It felt like a PLE match.
It felt like, and the thing is, and I was telling you this while we were like after the fact, Seth Rollins was doing like old moves where you were like, wow,
yes,
that's like old Seth Rollins. That's like, authority Seth Rollins. Obviously we didn't see no Phoenix Splash or anything like that, but
maybe it was coming.
We don't know. That's the thing. But we remember like Seth Rollins when he was just doing moves after moves after moves, leg moves, and just, and then when the knee went out, you're like, damn, like now he has to change his whole career. Like, honestly, what I'm thinking about, and I thought about this while I was driving home, bro, was it's like that. It's like D-Rose. It's literally like D-Rose, where it's like, oh my God, he's so athletic. He does everything. And then just one injury, and now he has to change his whole game up. I hate it. I hate it. I despise it. And it's like, we were thinking maybe it's a work. Maybe it's, maybe he'll cash in on this next match we'll talk about. But we didn't see him after that, and I just pray that it's at most 2-3 week injury. I hope he doesn't have to give up the money in the bank. And that's all I got to say on the matter. What do you have?
I was really enjoying the match. It was a match that I had told you I really wanted LA Knight to win. But again, I was like, oh, Seth was wrestling as if All In was today.
Mm-hmm.
And even the sequence he got hurt, it was like the springboard swanton, and then he was going to do a moonsault.
Mm-hmm.
And then LA Knight moved, and it didn't even look awkward. The landing didn't look awkward. And Seth's facial expression, he wasn't wincing. And I was like, But because he kind of faked an injury against Penta, I was like, oh, he's just doing heelish things. And then he just continued to sit down. And I'm like, this is taking mad long.
Yeah.
And then, as you had told me, they never threw up the X.
No, they
I'm
didn't.
like, but I'm like, just the whole flow is like completely derailed. And I think instead of having it be a no contest, probably called an audible to have LA Knight hit the BFT and end the match. But you could even see that LA Knight was visibly upset
Yeah.
because he probably felt like now, like we were cooking, and it's like it
Yeah.
had to end like this. Like, my dance partner in the ring got hurt, and it's like I hate when this happens, and we all did. And the problem is that with wrestling, we find out later if it's real or not.
Yeah.
But it really hurt, and again, we just pray that Seth Rollins is able to come back. And again, we would feel this way if it was anybody on the roster.
Honestly, we would.
But when you have someone who is in essentially multiple storylines, he's the briefcase holder. He has this thing with LA Knight. He has a thing with the world title. He has a thing with Punk. He has his
Roman.
faction that he's leading. Roman, because his name keeps getting dropped. Penta, like you name it. Almost like too many. Sammy, Jey Uso, like might as well name everybody.
Everybody, right? Every face.
And it started, and this really just seems like what we just dealt with Liv.
Yeah.
She had Nikki Bella. She was in a tag team. She wanted EO, and it's like, man. So listen, praying for them, and like you said, hopefully it's just a hyper extended knee. But green shirt guy, who was front row, had recorded, and Seth Rollins maybe just in the moment had dropped some expletives.
Of course, yeah.
But yeah, time will tell.
Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, it just felt like, and I mean, the silver lining is that wasn't the main event, because God forbid that was like they didn't have like a Goldberg retirement and that was the main event, and they were anticipating maybe a Roman Reigns return, or
a Punk
interference, like something of that sort, and then all of a sudden it just goes down to that, and it just sucks. Like it just really was not great, and I just felt like, well, I was holding on to hope that maybe it was a work, but then once the next match happened, which was Gunther and Goldberg, and he didn't show up, I was just like, damn, now it's real. It's a real injury, I think.
Yeah.
So we'll finish it off with Gunther and Goldberg. Honestly, this was after the Seth thing. This made me feel a bit better, where now you're in the moment of Goldberg is retiring. Gunther comes out, Gunther gets the boos, and some people are cheering for Gunther. But everybody honestly was there for getting ready for the Goldberg chance. Obviously that's also why I don't have a voice too, because most recently doing Goldberg. If you watch videos, I was next to the shooting star, just yelling my brains out about Goldberg. We watched the entrance. He was accompanied by all the friends, family, his son, obviously. Walk into the ring. You felt it. The sparklies, the pyro, all that was just what we needed. It was the last Bill Goldberg match. And I you know what? The match went longer than what we expected, because honestly, we were saying max 10. I was saying 5. You were being nicer and say, I'll give them 10 roughly.
Yeah.
It was 15 minutes. And I do like also, side note, I won the bet, but we'll talk about that later. But I just felt like the match was I'm going to say this, and then maybe I need to go back, but I felt like this was probably Bill Goldberg's longest match, or at least his longest match since maybe '04 when he was doing the Brock Lesnar thing. But I don't even think he had a long match with Brock Lesnar in '04 or '03 or '04. Like, it was very much a psychological match where, Goldberg, tries to spear Gunther. He runs into the barricade. He's limping, comes out. Gunther is making fun of him limping. He takes off his knee brace. He's mocking his son. It was a very psychological match. And, for his last match, we were talking about this before about going off on your shield. He went off on his shield in this last match. Now he got choked out, but I mean, it is what it is. I would rather him got pinned. I would rather have been a pin and then him kick out, and then Gunther does like the whole go crazy, double power bomb, T-Rex kick, all that. Then like him being choked out at the end. That wasn't my favorite ending. I'm never a fan of like that ending, truth be told. But we don't know why it had to end like that. Maybe Seth Rollins had to, the unfortunate Seth Rollins injury had to deal, was a byproduct of that. But the speech at the end by Bill Goldberg was amazing. Basically just saying like treat people how you want to be treated, and enjoy this ride, enjoy life, honestly. Because I think when he was saying it's been one hell of a ride, I think he was really saying, bro, like I've been living, and I'm going to keep living. And I'm just going to keep enjoying life. And that's really what people need to start doing now. Just enjoy life, enjoy being around people, be nice to people, treat people the way you want to be treated, obviously. And, he deserved his flowers at the end of the day.
Yeah. So I have a thing for entrances.
Of course.
It was perfect. It was old school. Goldberg hits time, comes through, has his entourage. Everything was it's just one of those things where like, yo, I'm really watching this in person.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of the match, it gave the big fight feel for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But when I had said that I saw this match going 10 minutes, it was essentially because it was his last match. And I don't think that a 2, 3, 4 minute match, win or lose, would have that's just not a career ending match to me.
Facts.
You and as I was saying in the previous video, like you want to kind of just drag things out a little bit because it's your last time, getting slammed. It's your last time combating. It's your last time going up the steps, hitting the ropes, all that stuff. I told you this in person. I was like, I absolutely love this match. It made this, first of all, this match made Goldberg seem human, but the psychology was really, really good. You would have times where Goldberg no-sold.
Chop, first chop.
And he laughed, and I just found that so funny.
Mm-hmm.
And, you had to beat him up a little bit more, so then when you chopped him again, he felt it.
Mm-hmm.
Working on the knee made sense because it slows him down trying to spear and affects his vertical base trying to do a jackhammer. So I thought that was smart.
Mm-hmm.
What I also liked is that Gunther was not intimidated by the fact this was a legend.
Mm-hmm.
Gunther was Gunther throughout the entire match.
Mm-hmm.
He was a troll. This was a very physical match. And I would say they both kind of got offense in because even when Gunther was attacking him, Goldberg would come back with strikes until there was like a kick to the midsection or something. So for me, I was very happy that the match went over 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I do believe that they had to call an audible since Seth got hurt because The referee didn't need to get hurt. Now, Charles Robinson, you are the GOAT. It used
The
to
go
be
Charles Robinson, obviously.
it used to be Earl Hebner to me, but Charles Robinson, you are the GOAT. The video of him getting speared by a very in shape 58-year-old Goldberg
Mm-hmm.
is also on our For the Love of Wrestling Instagram story. Um, and it felt like that was the time where shenanigans were supposed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
then you need to tell me that the only foul play that occurred was Gunther removing his knee brace and just like beating him with it. And then going to his son, irking him, having security hold back his son. Listen, they did the best they could.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna crucify them for it. I did not like how the match ended either.
Mm-hmm.
It just felt like that was it. Like you had nothing more. And this was not one of those cases where I could say, oh well, Goldberg didn't tap out, he passed out. It was more so like Goldberg doesn't get choked out.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't seem real.
It doesn't.
But, you know, it is what it is. He lost. There was no cash in, there was no surprise victory. He did go out still looking strong. I think
Mm-hmm.
people will respect him for the fact that they're like, huh, this was a match.
Right.
And honestly, I think the last time that you had a Goldberg match that lasted this long was maybe his rivalry with Triple H
Mm-hmm.
back with the Evolution days.
Right.
But it was a good send off. And again, I have the full speech recorded because I think after the first like minute or two, they went off the air. So if that's something that the people would like to see, I could also post that on our page as well. But
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed the match because I did not have high expectations, but I'm also happy that it was not 5 minutes and under. I
Yeah.
would have been upset with that for sure.
Agreed. Agreed. Yeah. So that's basically Saturday Night Main Event in a nutshell. We are going to be at Evolution tomorrow, so we have to, you know, treat our voices really well. We got to drink the tea and the honey and the cough drops and just make sure that we preserve our voices because tomorrow I feel like it's going to, or later today, I guess because it's 12 o'clock right now, but it's midnight. But it's going to be a banger. I do think that this is going to. I do not think that Evolution is going to fail because of the women. I do think that the only way this quote unquote fails, maybe by viewership or whatever, is because TKO and WWE did not make the storylines. You know, they rushed the storylines, and because of Live and all that. But you are a multi-billion-dollar company. You should know better than to have all your eggs in one basket. It could have been, God forbid, it could have been Jay Cargill, or God forbid, it could have been Raquel Rodriguez, or it could have been, Io Sky or Rhea Ripley. Then what do you got to do? You have to always have, a safe option, like an option to where, like, if this happens, is doomsday option. If this happens, then I need to do this. But like I said, I think the women are going to cook later today, and I'm excited. I'm also tired because I'm ready to go to sleep. I know Shooting Star is ready to take it down as well. So, any last words? My last words is basically, like I said, like Goldberg says, love each other. And I'm going to love tomorrow because I love wrestling, because it's always for the love of wrestling.
All right. Final words. I'll try to be brief. I think even despite Seth getting hurt, I don't think that, at least from what I've been seeing, I don't think that WWE would have been able to successfully just steal Saturday away. wrestling wise, I think
Right.
AEW really did deliver.
Right.
I am not gonna get into the TKO stuff,
Mm.
not tonight. I also wanted to point out that, you know, it's still a successful weekend. It's still a lot of fun. What we didn't mention is that we also took part in meet and greets
Yeah, we did.
today, which is also posted on
All right.
our Instagram page.
Yep.
I know you have another special meet and greet tomorrow, which I know that, well, today, that you're looking forward to. So I'm really happy that you get to experience that. And then in terms of just pre-Evolution 2, at this point, I think especially because we're going to be there, I'm not thinking about the storylines anymore.
Mm.
At this point, it's just the wrestling.
Me, yeah, agreed.
If the matches are amazing, let's just say just 5 out of 7. If the matches are bangers, I'm gonna leave with a gigantic smile on my face.
As we should, yeah.
And that's it. Can't wait.
Can't wait indeed. So that is it. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. This is Flex signing off.
Shooting star taking off.
See y'all later.
See y'all later. Man, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an emergency pod.
Emergency indeed.
Boy, this is your boy, the shooting star.
And this was Flex, aka the Good Luck Charm, and his easy sounding voice, but now it has been broken 2 days in a row. So much so that the lovely shooting star had to take over for me. I am my voice is dead, like deceased. I thought it was dead yesterday. It's rigor mortis now. It's bad. So
Ladies and gentlemen, this couldn't wait. It is currently 12:24 a.m.
In Atlanta.
Tired,
Mm-hmm.
drinking, because I'm celebrating.
Indeed.
What a night. I shockingly still have my voice, but I did not have words. Flex had words. He did not have his voice.
I had a lot of other things too that was spewing out, but we're not going to talk about that.
Not at all. Atlanta. I mean, a lot of people would say that Black Girl Magic would be due to what was across the street, which was the Beyonce concert. Look no further. Black Girl Magic was in WWE Evolution 2.
Mm-hmm.
And what a night it was. Man, I I don't even think there are words yet to generalize the night, but it was powerful, it was impactful, it was emotional, and the arena was on fire from the very, very beginning. Second Stephanie McMahon came out, it seemed like everybody was on their feet. And we're going to discuss at least the matches, the winners, etc. But electric. And I will have some prisoner of the moment remarks at the appropriate time during this video.
You want to start the first match? You're going to start off hot with the first match, right?
Go ahead.
So the first match was the triple threat match, which we did say we predicted that was going to be
the triple threat match we knew about.
The triple threat the one we knew about. It was the devil we knew and not the one we did it. But the triple threat match between Becky Lynch, who's the champion, Lyra Valkyria, and Bayley, the challengers. and Miss Becky Lynch is the official winner
Oh,
of the and retaining the women's intercontinental champion. Quick remarks from me. This match was amazing. This match was the beginning of what was going to be a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful night. Not just in women's wrestling, but wrestling in general. And you can tell that these three women have chemistry, and it's beautiful when a triple threat has chemistry. It just seems like WWE should have found their recipe. Just make triple threat matches with people that have chemistry. They'll figure it out. Controlling the ring. Lyra was being Bird Lady, but Lyra. I'm not going to do the bird call. I was doing that at the arena, and Mr. Shooting Star doesn't like when I do that, but it's fine. But she was flying around, breaking up pins. Bailey was controlling the mat, and Becky showed that she is still the man, the number one man, the man of, what's it going on? 8 years now she's been the man, roughly, since basically the last evolution. 8 years, yeah.
Essentially.
So the man continues to stay tall. We are proud of the man. We're proud of all three women for showing out and starting the Sunday strong. Mr. Shooting Star, the floor is yours, bro.
Well, look, first of all, we both predicted that Becky Lynch would retain, which she did. We also had said and agreed that just on paper, this match could have main evented on any other occasion.
It should have.
This match was fluid. There were a lot of great spots. Nothing seemed forced. Everyone had a moment where you thought they were going to win. And I think those are the best triple threat matches. It was just amazing. And as you said, it set the tone for the rest of the night. And I felt like the fans didn't even know who to root for. I think all they wanted was them really to fight forever.
Thanks.
And regardless of who won the match, they'd go home and say, this was one of the best women's matches I've ever seen. And in my opinion, the second best match of WWE's weekend. And just can't say it enough. Like, these three women are amazing. Their one-on-one matches have been great, and this triple threat did not disappoint. Congratulations to Becky Lynch, but congratulations to Lyra and Bailey, because man, it seems it just felt like this was their 10th triple threat, and they just knew how to work with each other like the back of their hands. So amazing match.
Yeah, I'm very proud of all three women, and this is, like I said, this was the beginning of a beautiful night, and I think they knew it in their heart of hearts that we're going to start strong, and we know we're going to basically pass the baton to all the other women that are going to do their matches, and they're going to run the four flats. They're going to run and try to even beat us. So very proud of that. Very proud of that indeed. The second match was the women's NXT championship match between JC Jane, who was the champion, and Jordan Grace, aka Muscle Muffin, who was the challenger. Obviously, JC Jane had is it Fatal Influence? I believe it's Fatal Influence. I think that's their name, right? Yeah, Fatal Influence. There you go. I just know it's Jasmine Nixon and Fallon Henley, aka Chick-fil-A Cowboy. And luckily, or I guess now unluckily, Jordan Grace was flagged with the Everlescent, the Glamour, Blake Monroe. However, the champ stayed the champ, and JC Jane, who we were commenting saying, damn, JC Jane kind of looks like Shawn Michaels when she came out. She had the all white on, and It was given very much Shawn Michaels 94, 95, and it was,
Right.
it was good. I thought the match was good. I thought the match did what it needed to do. Both women showed that, NXT can, like I said before, they took the baton from the triple threat match and said, like, let's just keep it going. We're not going to fall behind in this race. We're going to keep going. We're going to show NXT girls that they know what they're doing too, and we can tell a little story in the ring as well. And then what ended up happening was shenanigans, and at the end, Blake Monroe was cleaning house, trying to make sure if his influence wasn't being the reason why Jordynne Grace lost. And sure enough, the woman from hell popped back up and she turned heel and she hit Jordynne Grace, her muscle muffin, with the NXT belt. And JC Jane hit her finisher, which I believe is a discus lariat. And that was it. 1, 2, 3. And it was over. Shooting star, go ahead, sir.
Not everything that's glamorous is gold. But funny enough, she's the reason why Jordynne Grace doesn't have gold. I mean, honestly, it was a solid match. I have no real complaints. I just didn't think the heel turn would have happened this soon.
Yeah,
like, I wanted at least a few muscle muffin compilation videos, but hey, I mean, they I guess they just didn't want to hold back anything. The match was solid. Jordynne pulled out some pretty cool suplex maneuvers, as usual, looking strong. But I think I had also said this when we were watching it in person, when Blake Monroe held the NXT Women's Championship.
Right.
My exact words were, "Oh no." She looked at it and I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I don't like it. And the backstab already. I'm like, my goodness. Jordynne Grace without a championship. Falls short again.
Again, indeed.
JC Jane, congratulations.
And I remember you told me, you said that, I don't think that there's any way that they can't put the title on her because it's just taking too long for them to really, allowing Jordynne Grace to be a champion. And now I'm really thinking that maybe they just won't make her a champion. And then eventually she'll come up and, she'll just be one of those superstars from NXT that just don't win the championship. They didn't win the big one. It happens. Sometimes you just can't win.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we'll see what happens. I don't really have a prediction in terms of where Jordynne Grace goes from here because, well, now there's clearly some animosity between her and Blake Monroe. But, I'm pretty sure she still wants to be champion, but we'll see how that goes. We'll see if JC Jane just has a completely brand new number one contender that she now has to turn her attention to. So we'll see.
We do know who she has to face. She has to.
Yes.
She has the unfortunate facing of Masha Slamovich at Slammiversary.
Yeah.
So and I think that obviously Jason J is not going to get squashed or anything like that. I'm not saying that, but if I were a betting man, I would probably bet towards Masha Slamovich, because this is a title for title belt, and I think that Masha Slamovich is going to win it. So we will see how all that unfolds. TNA and WWE have a partnership, and
right.
Trick Williams is the current TNA champion, and he's from NXT. So maybe there was an underhanded deal saying like you Trick can win our title, and we need one of ours to win your title. So we'll see how it goes though. We will definitely be tuned in to that.
Absolutely.
So next up was the Fatal 4-Way. tag team champion match. And this was the Kabuki Warriors versus Zaruka versus the We're Not Friends of
Good
Alexa
name.
and Charlotte, and the champions of Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, the Prodigy. I mean, Raquel and Roxanne won, and I thought for sure that they were going to pull the trigger. No pun, I don't really keep them pull the trigger. I thought that they were going to go with Alexa and Charlotte just because it's a unlikely pairing, and just them winning it probably would have made better for better TV. They were even walking to the ring like trying to one up each other, and Charlotte is like, I seen it at the match. Charlotte was telling her like, you need to do a chin lock, and then like Alexa's like, don't tell me what to do. Like it's like a friendly rivalry. But during the match, Charlotte did save Alexa from a spear from Zarya. So hopefully they have built some type of camaraderie or some love between that, where it's like, I don't want to see anything happen to you. So, but in all, I thought this was another great match. My only regret from this match was the Kabuki Warriors. I felt like they didn't get enough offense in. We got Soruka doing the Soul Snatcher. We got,
on Charlotte.
Yeah, Charlotte was doing Charlotte stuff, obviously. But I just felt like Asuka and Kairi Sane could have done a little bit more to this match. But all in all, like I said, it was a good match. Roxanne Perez should be now trusted by Raquel Rodriguez. We'll see. Raquel does this like patting of the head thing, like she's like her little dog or something. So we'll see how that works out. Hopefully there's some camaraderie. I don't know. Look, like Stephanie said at the end of the match, it's really not about what Raquel thinks. It's about what Liv is going to think about this whole ordeal.
Right.
We won't know what Liv thinks until Liv comes out and says what she thinks. So we will see. Go ahead, Mr. Shooting Star.
I can't really tell you why I picked the champions to retain when we did our predictions right before.
You did the right thing too.
I really feel like, them being champions makes the Judgment Day storyline with Liv even more interesting.
Agreed.
Because we couldn't get to the Roxanne feeling like, well, this is mine. I actually defended it successfully in a match where statistically they were supposed to lose. If she didn't have the championship, then Liv comes back and she's just mad that she lost the title. I think it's a little bit more intriguing if Liv comes back and Roxanne does not want to give it up.
That's the thing.
And then now you have Raquel saying, well, we've kind of been winning without you. So, that was kind of like my logic going into it, but I completely agree with you. Kabuki Warriors, I wish they got a little bit more offense. Obviously, for me, I'm just grateful to see Asuka.
Yeah,
just my favorite female in-ring performer. And I mean, aside from that, everyone else kind of really got their stuff in. We did not get to see a figure 8, which
we did not.
Was interesting, but there were a lot of phenomenal spots. The match was really good. Like it felt like the women came out understanding this is Evolution 2.
Facts.
And we're wrestling as if we want an Evolution 3. No, not that we want an Evolution 3, that there needs to be an Evolution 3.
Yeah.
And we want to be a part of it as well. So, again, this was just another match that there's really nothing bad to say. You could say, like we said, Kabuki Warriors getting a little bit more offense, but when you're dealing with that many superstars in one match, not everyone is going to be able to get their stuff in.
Right.
I mean, there were a lot of finishers that weren't hit. Their finishers didn't happen. Like I said, Charlotte didn't hit the figure 8. I didn't see a Twisted Bliss. But again, you didn't need those moments for it to be a successful match, and this was a lot of fun to watch.
Agreed indeed. And just the, entrances, seeing how happy they were to, have this fatal 4-way match, and the crowd, as probably much as your chagrin, because I know you be calling the crowd fake Charlotte fans because they were just booing her like 2 months ago. But they were there. They wanted Charlotte. They had a couple of chances saying they wanted Charlotte, and Charlotte got in and did the hot tag like she usually does, and it was very good. So,
right,
like I said, I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see what's about to happen with the tag team. Like you said before, Roxanne's probably not gonna give this up, and I would love for it to be a case where like they just are still champions, and then Liv comes back and she thinks she's going to take over, and now you have real dissension in the Judgment Day. And Finn's already backing Roxanne. Yeah, right. And look, you also got to see how it's going to affect Dom. We don't know what's Dom going to think about this, So
such a pushover.
I mean, look, as she probably brings some chicken tenders, he'll be fine. Like, you really got to do nothing with him. Chicken tenders, and say that you like his mustache, and he'll probably be all right.
What a child.
What a child. Yeah, what a child indeed. So, next up, well, what Nick Aldis said yesterday, that these two women were being children and that they couldn't match by themselves. So he brought in some reinforcements. Jade versus Naomi in the no holds bar. And he just upped the ante yesterday at Saturday Night Main Event and said, yeah, I'm just going to throw in Bianca in as a special guest referee to make sure that this has a definite winner, because I don't trust y'all to have a definite winner with this match. And we do have a definite winner of this match. It was Jade Cargill, the definite winner of that match. Queen, sorry, I apologize, my queen, because I took a picture with you, and this is part of my good luck charm, because the pictures I took with the meet and greet people I met this week have been successful, and I'm just happy about that. Queen Jade Cargill was the winner by a beautiful Jaded off the top rope onto the Slim Jim table. I thought that this match was everything that I wanted to see in a no holds barred match, when the stakes are, I don't like you, you don't like me, and I'm going to make sure that you suffer before I count 1, 2, 3. They, obviously you have the tables spots, but they brought a trash can in. Naomi, I think Jade actually brought in the what was Naomi? So one of them brought in the toolbox, and I know Naomi was she was choking out Jade with
a chain.
Like, yeah, metal chain. It was crazy. And you just have all these other spots in there, the chair spots, and everything that was happening. It was brutal. Not so much so that Bianca was kind of like grimacing, like, "Oh, damn, that's crazy." Like, and I think I've seen certain parts of not when Bianca was really, really like distressed in the face when both of them were getting beat up. Maybe because it was the fact of like they were all friends, and it's like, how can y'all say that y'all are friends and y'all are doing this to each other? Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
But like I said, eventually Jade did the Jaded off the top rope onto a table, and 1, 2, 3. Unfortunately, much to my chagrin, there was no heel turn by Bianca, but hey, I get to see Bianca. So I should be happy with that. And, Jade Cargill winning is always a blessing. So I'm not going to complain whatsoever.
Man, there was something in this match that was missing for me. I can't put my finger on it. I feel like this is a match I definitely have to go back and watch. It had the spots, but there was an element that was missing. I can't put my finger on it. I couldn't figure it out at the time while I was watching it. And I feel like this is the first time I'm going to be critical of any of the matches.
Okay.
So first, Bianca's presence didn't do anything. I know that you had mentioned a heel turn, but like if you had replaced Bianca with a regular referee, I could still see the match going exactly the same. Bianca did not intervene and stop them from doing any psychotic moves. She didn't really interact with the superstars like that. She was really just a regular referee. So if this was just a way to get Bianca on Evolution, I get it. But the presentation of, to get someone in order, like I was kind of expecting Jade and Naomi to brawl to the point where Bianca would have felt compelled, like, oh no, I need to separate them. It never happened.
Yeah.
And to me, that that kind of hurts because Bianca is a big time superstar, and whenever you have superstars that are a special guest referee, it's usually not a situation where they just call it right down the middle. And there was not one time that she like pushed one off the other.
Right.
I was just like, why is she here? Essentially, why is she here? And what I thought at the end was that her body movement changed when she was counting the 1, 2, 3. Between 2 and 3, her body shifted, and I thought she was not going to hit the mat for the 3 count. And then she did. And then Bianca had I would say a look of distraught on her face as she raised Jade's hand in victory. And that was it.
Yeah.
It's just there were a few moments that were really, really cool, but I don't know. I still feel like with everything that they've gone through, I expected more of the I really hate you type of aggression in this match. It just seemed like again, you watch this for the first time, not knowing the story. Oh, it's a no holds barred match. Wow, it's kind of violent in some places, but table spot here, chair spot there. But even if it was just, a fury of punches and like scrapping, but that could be nitpicky. But my main issue is really just the fact that if you replace Bianca with a regular referee, you'd have the same exact match. So why were you there?
Yeah.
And maybe we'll figure that out later.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, they got to figure out what's going on. Because like I was telling you when we were watching it, when we were there, Bianca still has her fingers taped up. So I don't know if she's even fully healed yet for in-ring action, so we will see how this goes. But, this match had a bearing on a future match that we will talk about in a little bit. But next up was the women's WWE Women's Championship between Tiffany Stratton, the champion, and Trish Stratus, the challenger. I'm going to say this real quick, as I've seen Trish twice. I seen Trish a couple years ago when she was feuding with Becky Lynch, and I felt like a kid when she did come out originally, but I also was further away than I was this time around.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the promo before this match, but I felt truly like a child, like, when I was younger and I would watch Trish versus, let's say Trish versus Lita, or, Trish versus even like a Mickey James later on in 05 when I was a teenager, Trish versus whoever.
Right.
It felt like I was back to being a kid again. And I just was enjoying, the theme song, her coming out, doing her shtick, the match itself. It showed that Trish Stratus, after 25 plus years, still can go into the ring and do what needs to be done. 25 years is crazy, by the way. Like, she debuted in 2000, and she, obviously she had children, she had other priorities, but Charlotte, remembers when Charlotte said they try to age us out. They try to age women out of this company so quickly. And I felt like Trish was unfortunate, not unfortunate reason, but like she was one of the people that they phased out way too quickly. She probably could have definitely held it down in the late 2000s up until now. It's literally, because I think she left in 07, maybe something like that, 07, 08. But she can still go in the ring, she can still take bumps, she can still do what needs to be done. And obviously, in my opinion, Tiffany was the heel in the match, and she was doing some heel stuff. She was mocking Trish at the end of the match, and trying to make sure that she didn't get her offense in. She did the chick kick. So I truly think that Tiffany should be a heel. We've been said that to each other, that there's no reason why Tiffany she should be a heel. She's a heel character in itself. But all in all, the match was cool. So much so that I wanted Trish to win it. I was like, well, why can't Trish win it? Let's throw a curveball here. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, solid match. Really, really good to see and hear the "you still got it" chants from the crowd.
Right.
I know that probably would have made Trish feel good if she was able to hear it in the moment. Obviously, there's a lot going on that she needs to be mindful of and pay attention to, but it really did feel like Tiffany Stratton was a heel and Trish Stratus was a face. Even from some of the things that happened in the match, the way that Trish would kind of pander to the crowd versus the way that, as you said, Tiffany would mock Trish. The match was cool, nothing too crazy, but it doesn't feel as if it was anywhere near Trish's last match. If you said that she debuted in 2000, you would just say, like, how is this possible? Like, she's literally been on the main roster longer than John Cena and Randy Orton. Now, obviously, there was a huge gap of time where she wasn't an active performer, but that's even more meaningful that she's been away for that long and she's still able to put on these type of performances, to maintain that type of shape, and just, again, it just didn't even feel like there was a step lost. Like, you're so used to seeing certain people a certain way, and then, okay, they run the rope slower or this and that, and it's like a noticeable thing that affects how you view the match. It wasn't the case, and they really put up a really good match. It wasn't my favorite match of the night, but again, there was no bad match for Evolution. The outfits were fire, and the fans were behind it. So even if it was lackluster, it just didn't feel like that because the fans made every single match on the card feel important.
Yeah, we definitely did. We definitely made it seem, we made it because it was, we appreciated that this is basically the past versus the present future. And, how we feel about certain people really didn't matter. Obviously we just booed, we booed Tiffany and, rooting for Trish just because we grew up with Trish being in our lives and, being Trishy. And, I just think that, Tiffany did the job. She did what she did, but I just would like for her to be a heel. I think that just that's what I think. That's what I think she truly is. I think she is truly a heel type of character. And maybe eventually they'll unlock that. I don't know. Maybe they're scared to make her a heel because I can't even call why WWTK would be scared to do that. But, all in all, like you said, decent match, good match. But there was a part at the end where Tiffany left out and she was kind of getting rushed by the ref a little bit. And Trish was in the ring. And, obviously Trish in the ring, was saying, you still got it. And thank you, Trish, and all that.
Right.
There was a moment where me personally, I was about to get emotional because I thought that she was about to announce
retirement.
Yeah. And I was like, no, not here. But luckily she just did, she just did her
little encore.
Yeah, a little encore, right. And that's what she deserves. And we want more years of Trish, however long she want to do it. And I believe she did it in front of family, maybe children. It might have been her children there. Because I know she was talking to somebody there before she went out to the ring. So I'm going to assume it was her children. Glad that they could see her, go in a championship match. This is important. You show your daughter, you show your son that this is what you can do, and this is what I used to do. You just think of me as mom, but they know me as bigger than life. And I want you to see that for yourself. This is the community that embraced me. So all in all, like you said, Trish deserves her flowers. She will continue to get her flowers. And we gonna keep moving.
And last thing I'll just say about Trish, it just seems like this, if you want to call it a run, this latter half of her career has had more memorable matches, in my opinion.
Yeah,
which is crazy, but that's all I wanted to say.
And I think it's because she's been given time. Before, she was given, the only time she really got given time was Lita, Mickie James, and it was 9 minutes, and they had to cook in 9 minutes. But now, give them 15, 20 minutes to really tell an in-ring story. It works.
Yep.
Speaking of in-ring, there was a lot of women in the ring in this next match. The Battle Royale. Now, throughout the show that they were showing legends, and I'm not going to dwell on this and talk about this for a long period of time. I was one of the people that wanted Melina to be part of the Battle Royale just for the pop, just for the, and the entrance, obviously. Great, one of the greatest entrances of all time. But they just were showing legends on the side. Cool, but we started to figure out, I don't think there's really going to be any legends in this match. So we had about, I would say maybe at least 20. I'm not sure the exact number. We'll say 20 to 25 in that ring. And typical Battle Royale had a lot of good spots. One of my favorite spots obviously was Last Legend doing the Nia Jax, throwing her over. And then her and Stephanie tag teaming to take her out, where it was just not Nia, but Lash versus Stephanie. That didn't last very long because as we predicted in the beginning, not the last week, but we predicted in the beginning that Stephanie Valkyrie is the number one contender for the women's, I'm going to keep calling it the women's heavyweight championship because they heavyweights. They deserve the heavyweight title because they are some heavyweights in this business. The women's heavyweight championship, she's going to get that match at Clash in Paris. Your immediate thoughts?
So Battle Royal, fun to watch. If you want to really, talk about, if you want to dissect it, seems like Zelina is not done with Julia.
Not at all. They were fighting literally all the way up until they both got eliminated. They were fighting up the ramp. I have a video of that. It's crazy.
Yeah. I think it was cool that for the most part, most of the women got their full entrance, but I feel like everyone got cheered. Everyone had a moment. Some people obviously got eliminated real early, but it was a fun match. I really do like the fact that Lash lasted that long, and we got to see two Devil's Kisses by Stephanie Valkyrie.
What's one better one too? Yeah.
Hey, listen, and the fans ate that up. It was just, again, it was a fun match. There were no surprises, which in this case I actually was initially disappointed only because I had an expectation, but when you actually watch the match, you're like, okay, it would have just been for fan reaction, but like, did we need it? No. If they keep saying the future is now, then this was a great time to showcase the talent you have, and people got their time. The women got their time to get certain pops. They did certain spots. They delivered. There was really nothing really to critique about this. The only last thing I'll add is, Kalani had a very good Kofi Kingston-esque return to the ring after being thrown out. And I thought that was awesome.
It was amazing. And she was kind of like at first kind of like figure out if she can jump it or she can try to figure out a different way. But then she was like, you know what, let's do the handstand. And I'm glad that the crowd ate that up. And because really all the NXT girls in that match, they did okay. I didn't really see much of Izzy Dame and Tatum Paxley.
They got eliminated, I think,
quickly.
First and second.
Yeah, okay. So they were the first and two to eliminated. But if you know NXT, Tatum Paxley is like a wrestler. She cooks in the ring, and Izzy Dame is getting better. Obviously, she had a really good match with Sol Ruka Saturday at Great American Bash. So,
Jada had a few eliminations.
Jada, yeah. They all really did well, and I'm very proud of those NXT girls. The one thing that that's sticking with me, and I love that Stephanie Vicaire said this. Oh, two things actually. One, Stephanie McMahon has embraced the meme of when you go to a Mexican restaurant. Yeah, and you're trying to order something. That was amazing. I'm glad that she embraced that meme and also probably took it to the next level, because she actually was speaking Spanish. She spoke it better than what I thought she was going to speak, because I was like, no, Stephanie, don't do this. Don't try to speak to her in Spanish. But it was all right. I guess for me, I don't know. I got to ask somebody who's Hispanic, but
probably spoke Spanish better than Paul Heyman did to Penta.
Oh my God. Yeah, that was probably just terrible Spanish. But Stephanie Vicaire was saying, English is my first language, but wrestling is my first language. I was like, bro, you are cooking with that bar. Like, it was everything I needed to hear. Like that was a promo of the night, honestly.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So amazing. So glad for La Primera, because she is definitely the only one right now that is going to essentially affect this next match. We're gonna see what's gonna happen, but this next match, it was Io versus Rhea for the main event, and when I tell you that Io Sky, now I picked Rhea to win, and
I know the graphic, man. Change the graphic.
Io Sky is, first of all, Io Sky should just be like, we need to talk about Io Sky in the realm of top 3 women's wrestlers right now. I am fully with that. I knew that she was legit, but they gave them spots, and they gave them good spots, and they gave them spots to where, the ref got hit, and they was like, oh, the ref's out. We about to take it outside of the ring, and
let's have some fun.
Let's have some fun with it. And went through the crowd. And, there was a moment where I thought, okay, this is over, because Io hit something on the first time, but then she hit over the moonsault, and I was like, oh yeah, this is it. The ref's coming in. This is the 1, 2, 3. We about to retain with the championship. But then Rhea kicked out, and then that's when I was like, wow. Rhea's going to do it. They're going to let Rio do it. and they was going back and forth for a little bit, and they both down in the ring. And this is the main reason why we are doing this pod right now at 1:07 in the morning. There was a moment that Shooting Star and the surgical super chick, that's her name, surgical super chick. They said to each other, Naomi. And I said, well, Naomi can't come out, can she? I was thinking about us not having a story. Like, why would Naomi come out? But truth be told, I wanted Naomi to come out. I was like, but it's going to be so good because they don't need a story. The story is Naomi. Naomi with the briefcase is the story. She can make it be a greater story than what it is. And then I heard Naomi's music. And from then on out, and I'm going to show this graphic because obviously she deserves it. She came out. She brought Ref Bay, aka Daphne, and she said, I'm cashing in my money in the bank. And this is also the reason why I have no voice right now, because from the moment where she came out to the moment that she had her pyro go off and saying that she's the champion, my voice was, it was just essentially going. I just was yelling the entire time. Just, it was, oh my gosh, it was just a moment in time that is starting to really hit me now. Because like, no, I'm being that serious. Like, and I'm not even being like crazy right now. Like, really, you were shocked at it. I was yelling my brains off about it, but like, we literally witnessed a money in the bank cash in. And not only just a money in the bank cash in, we've seen probably one of the most deserving women cash in the money in the bank. Because Naomi literally was like one of the, obviously you have Jacqueline, and you have Jazz, and you have all that, and like they are the pioneers of this. But damn, Naomi deserved this so much from what she had to go through with the BS that happened under the previous regime, and them basically just giving her Mercedes. I want to show you that I'm invaluable now. You are going to need me way more than I'll ever need you. And sure enough, they realized that Naomi is and was and will continue to be that woman. She proceed with caution. She is everything. She's the glow, proceed with caution, all that. Like, a single tear is running down my eyes like Denzel Washington right now, because golly, I am so proud of her. I am so proud. And, I met her today. I took a picture with her. I hated the picture, by the way. But, wow, she really did it. She really is the WWE Women's Heavyweight Champion. And just a reaction, the crowd was amazing. I'm going to stop talking now because I'm going to get more emotional. Go ahead, bro.
This was the greatest women's match of all time.
It really was, yeah.
You can cue that up. We just did our top 5 of all time.
This is going in there.
This is number 1 for me. This, call me prisoner of the moment. I don't care.
No, I agree.
I'm pretty sure when I watch this back with commentary, which obviously you don't get when you're watching it live, the excitement, the spots, everything, like, it was the greatest women's match ever. And I wanted Io to retain. When Rhea kicked out at the end, I was like, oh.
Tiki put the goal in.
I was like, okay, the writing's on the wall. No, it was not. I can't, in this video, I can't discuss the spots. It's too many.
Too many.
The sequences. There's too many. Io acting like Jeff Hardy.
Mhm.
I can't spend my time doing that. The second Naomi's music hit, I went straight Pikachu face.
That he did.
Couldn't believe it. The entire time, I didn't say a word. She won, I didn't speak. The car ride home, I didn't speak. Stunned.
Mhm.
And we just had a conversation where I told you, when you have a match that's like so amazing, I hate when there's interference and messes it up. Just like Io and Stephanie Vacher, the Raw after WrestleMania. I'm like,
Yeah.
why? Just let it finish. A cash in for this match was probably the only acceptable ending that did not result in Io or Rhea winning. Because the match, I would have considered the match to be the greatest women's match of all time without the cash in.
Agreed.
Without the cash in. Now, with the cash in, you have the greatest women's match of all time, and you might have the greatest women's moment.
Mm.
Because, wow. And this is what I was alluding to when I said all these people with these stupid hats and these stupid cutout pants going to see Beyonce thinking that they're representing Black girl magic. No, 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 no. Because what you have is Bianca, Elimination Chamber.
Mhm.
You have Naomi, Money in the Bank. You had Jade, Queen of the Ring. And now you have Naomi, the women's world champion. Because you saw that coming, right? I'm sure you did. You predicted it, right?
Mhm.
I'm sure you did. You know who predicted it? Naomi did. You know why? Because she did it. She did it. She
Yeah.
picked the right time.
Mhm.
Naomi is smart the way she did it too. I'm happy that we did not get Io or Rhea winning and then a cash in afterwards. It would have, the match was so good that if someone definitively won and then got cashed in on, it would have sucked the life out of the entire arena.
Mhm.
And I don't think that they would have been as happy for Naomi, instead of the way it actually happened.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, look, just like I said, like the match, like you said, the match is probably the best match we've ever seen. And we're gonna be prisoners of the moment. And we're also going to be biased because we were there.
We were there.
We were there. And it adds to the allure of what happened, you know. And I just, like I said, I just remember, oh bro, I remember that day when I just, when I seen that Naomi or Trinity and Mercedes, there was the tweet that said, like, oh yeah, they left. They're not even there.
Right.
And when we heard more information about what was going down and what was the what was the plan that kind of made them upset about it, and truth be told, it probably just wasn't that. It was probably a bunch of stuff
Oh, yeah.
beforehand that they just were probably mistreating them, right?
It
Because
piled up.
it piled up. The fact that they were tag team champions and just not treated right. I told you that tag team champions, it's starting to be okay now, but I mean, even still, it's still cursed because Liv got hurt. That tag team champions is cursed, and if you are a believer in superstition, maybe the curse has been lifted now that Naomi's finally gotten her flowers and that she's been coordinated as a champion. We'll see how it goes, but bro, I just remember that, and I just was so livid that you have two top women's wrestlers, not even women's wrestlers, top wrestlers at your company that day in, day out, does what they need to do, good on the mic, good in the ring, fan favorites. You know, and Mercedes and was in that case. She could work as a heel. She was a great heel. We didn't really get to see a true Trinity heel besides in Team BAD with Sasha or Mercedes. And you just treat them like complete garbage. Like, oh well, we don't need it. And I'm not going to get too political about it, but I'm just going to say this statement, and I'm going to let it ring for what it is. Black women, you are unfortunately the most disrespected people in this world, and it's time for people to understand that Black women make this world go round. That's my statement. If you can call me crazy, I don't care. I love Black women. My wife's a Black woman. His wife's a Black woman. We love Black women. And we are so happy about this because it hits us on a deeper level, this championship win. And it hits us deeper when we see Bianca with Elimination Chamber. It hits us differently when we see Jade Cargill win, because in this business, we don't see us win a lot.
And wait till Jade wins at SummerSlam.
And wait till the big three is the big three. And I cannot wait for them to all be coordinated as champions once again in this era. My last thing before, and then you can talk about whatever you need to talk about, because I actually want you to have the floor with a lot more stuff, is this Evolution felt like multiple PLEs in one for me. So with the triple threat match at the beginning, it felt like, it felt like the triple threat match at WrestleMania 41. It wasn't on the same caliber, obviously, and you could argue it could be, but that felt like a WrestleMania type of match. You had the Battle Royal that felt like a Women's Royal Rumble. You had a Fatal 4-Way Tag Team, which, any PLE that works. The whole No Holds Barred match felt like Extreme Rules matches, like we was back in Extreme Rules PLE days. And this match right here also felt, this was the heist of the century. This was Seth Rollins getting RKO'd earlier in the day, and then all of a sudden just pops out of nowhere. But obviously I like this one better because a Black woman did it, and a Black woman that deserves her flowers. So Trinity Death 2, aka Naomi, thank you for what's probably going to, hopefully, I swear, I'm just putting this on record right now, W do not, because if they do, we know where we stand. That's it.
For us selfishly, we had to deal with a teased cash-in of the Money in the Bank at Bad Blood with Tiffany Stratton.
Mm-hmm.
This, somehow, some way, we got it in Atlanta, Georgia. So this was justice.
Yeah.
This, honestly, I think it was the best PLE of the year.
No
from
doubt.
top to bottom. Elimination Chamber is still right there. But I think that Trish and Tiffany tag team match versus, I think it was Nia and Candice LeRae.
Mm-hmm. That was there.
That was the weak part of the card. But the two chambers, the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn match, the Cena heel turn.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Those moments, of course. But again, if you wanted to put it 1A, 1B, that's fine. But this was the best PLE of the year, which is crazy because this is, if what we read on the internet is true, then this was the least tickets purchased PLE of the year.
Yeah.
And whether it was Beyonce, whether it was whatever else, y'all messed up. y'all missed out on a phenomenal PLE.
Mm-hmm.
The way that we felt is exactly how WrestleMania was supposed to feel. And this was an all women's PLE. And they really wrestled like rent was due.
Mm.
I want to say that the attention to detail was noticed and appreciated. The attire that all the women wore made it feel very special, made it feel like it was a WrestleMania. The in-ring stuff, without doing anything too crazy, it felt like WrestleMania. It's going to be very difficult to imagine going to anything in the future that is going to top this. You might have a moment, because there's always a moment that will top the last moment, that will top the last moment. But the one thing that I had told you was that despite how the build for this came about,
Mm.
since we're going to be there, if the in-ring was on point, I'm good. I got my money's worth. I'm straight. I'm
Mm.
happy. I'm a satisfied customer. But man, the fact that WWE can still pull off the "oh, you didn't see that coming, did you?" moment,
Mm-hmm.
this is what just reels me back as a fan when I start to feel or question why certain things are happening, why things are happening a certain way. There's always that reminder of there's a reason why we're the best at this. We've been at this for a while. It may take a few mediocre shows to get there, but we're gonna remind you. And to do it like this, boy oh boy, that was a main event. I'll also say that I said this is the best women's match of all time. I might have to start looking at best match of all time, period. But
Mm.
like I said, I will reserve judgment for when I rewatch it. But I was speechless. And I
You
still
are.
am.
You are.
I still am. But shout out to the women. That's really all I can say. Shout out to y'all. I don't remember Saturday night's main event. I wasn't there for Great American Bash. You met and took a picture with the women's world champion. And at least for now, I met, took a picture with a challenger at Clash in Paris.
You did.
And obviously, that's a discussion for a different episode, a different video. But man, amazing. And please come back to Atlanta whenever you want.
I mean, look, we're here. We love it. We are. There was a time when we were the epicenter of, the Deep South wrestling. Son, Ted Turner had a whole rival of your business. Like, we should be true. We have basically the face of the company is from here, right up the road.
Right.
Give us our WrestleMania, bro. Or if you want to do it like you want to have a evolution just in Atlanta, do that. I'm perfectly fine with that. Make other cities be jealous of us because we always have evolution. They're not going to do that, I don't
I
think.
mean,
But
if Vegas had two WrestleMania is gonna have two WrestleManias.
we should have two evolutions. Damn it.
I mean, listen, why not?
Facts.
You heard us. You
Yeah.
heard us.
Yeah.
We cheer people. We cheer people.
That is facts of life. So yeah, I think I'm good with my takes. I'm good. I'm gonna go cry in happiness. So because
Yo,
like I said,
Naomi really did it, bro.
Look, it's hitting me right now, and I didn't think it was going. I told you, you did say, yeah, it's probably going to hit you in a little bit after the fact, and now it's hitting me. I'm just like, wow, because I just remember everything she went through, and now she's on top of the world, and I'm so happy for her. I'm so happy for her family. I'm so happy for Jimmy. Happy for everybody. Right? Yeah. Look, I just wish that I would be able to take a picture of her with the championship. I feel like people that had a meet and greet with her today should have an ability to meet her with the championship. Because
and isn't it funny that she was the only other person than Rhea to sell out?
You think it's conspiracy theory? People
you wouldn't assume that. You would assume maybe Stephanie Vaquer, maybe I don't know, the women's world champion Io. Wow. Shout out to Naomi, yo.
Shout out to Naomi, indeed, bro. So I'm ready to go off. Are you ready to go off?
I am indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you. But honestly, thank the women.
Exactly.
Thank the women. We are so grateful of their hard work, how seriously they took this PLE. They wrestled as if there was another major promotion that was also trying to steal headlines this weekend. This is how you close out a weekend. And the women did it. I'm so proud of them. So honored to be there. They did their thing, all of them. There were no bathroom breaks. There were no let me go get food. There was no let me go and buy more merch. It was I can't miss anything. We don't use the word perfect, but it was very close to that. So grateful. Flex, thank you.
Thank you, Shooting Star.
Going on this ride with me. And till the next one. But right now, since it's probably going to be a while till we get one, I am going to hold on to this for as long as possible. Evolution 2 was better than Evolution 1. And I can't wait for Evolution 3.
Let's hope that doesn't take another 8 years to have another Evolution, truth be told.
It can't. It can't.
At this point, it cannot.
It can't.
So, yeah, this is Flex Washington, aka the Good Luck Charm, because I'm the good luck of why Naomi. I'm kidding. I'm not the reason why she won today, but I met Naomi, I met Jade. I'm just missing Bianca now, and the big three will be complete for me and my meet and greets.
Which might happen sooner than you think.
Which might happen sooner than I think. Wow, I noticed that. I just remembered that too. Thank you for reminding me about that. I need to go now because I'm gonna cry.
All right. 4TL, ATL, WWE Takeover. It's over. It was a movie. Good night, y'all.